Just in, Japan shocks the globe with massive military move. Tensions are on the rise around the world, as every major nation is preparing for potential conflict. It's time to find out who America's real allies are. And Japan just made it clear that they are one of them. Japan is officially sending destroyers to join with the USS Carl Vinson and other American naval ships on their way to the Korean Peninsula. This is a massive sign that Japan is on board to remove North Korean dictator Kim Jong-Un from power. As of right now, the US doesn't have set plans to attack North Korea. But we have a presence of warships in their waters to destroy them from testing missiles. President Trump is planning for China to take the lead in eliminating the North Korea problem. Just in, Japan shocks the globe with massive military move. Written by Adam Lott, 2 days ago. Share this story. Tensions are on the rise around the world, as every major nation is preparing for potential conflict. It's time to find out who America's real allies are. And Japan just made it clear that they are one of them. Advertisement. Japan is officially sending destroyers to join with the USS Carl Vinson and other American naval ships on their way to the Korean Peninsula. This is a massive sign that Japan is on board to remove North Korean dictator Kim Jong-Un from power. As of right now, the US doesn't have set plans to attack North Korea. But we have a presence of warships in their waters to destroy them from testing missiles. President Trump is planning for China to take the lead in eliminating the North Korea problem. Advertisement. Last week Trump tweeted twice to remind the Chinese president of their meeting last week. He also told the people that all trade deals between the US and China would be more lucrative for both sides if North Korea were finally taken care of. China has asked businesses to leave North Korea and recently positioned 150,000 soldiers along the North Korea border. But if the massive nation refuses to take real actions, the United States, along with Japan and South Korea, are prepared to eliminate the threat in North Korea. The nation has been in a constant coverage state since they started testing nuclear weapons back in 2006. They have also threatened Japan and South Korea. President Trump is not taking the threats lightly, and has made it clear that we will destroy Kim Jong-un's regime if we have to. Paul Ryan tries to block border wall, Trump fires back with this. This week, House Speaker Paul Ryan blocked funding for Donald Trump's border wall for 2017. Now, President Trump has fired back with an appearance on Fox News. Trump told Fox Business host Maria Bartiromo that he is still going to build the wall this year, and that he is already in the process of going through designs for it. They say we aren't going to build a wall, we're going to build the wall 100%, Trump said. In fact, we've had hundreds of bidders. We've seen the 10 top designs and we're going to be making a decision very shortly. This came after Border Patrol President Brandon Judd spoke out to slam Ryan for trying to block the funding to the wall. There is a report this morning that Speaker Paul Ryan is suggesting that Congress delay border wall funding until next year, Fox News host Stuart Varney said to Judd on Wednesday. What do you say about that? I disagree, Judd flatly responded, according to the Daily Caller. President Trump promised he was going to secure the border, and part of securing the border is putting in place the proper technology and resources that allows us to be successful. A border wall in strategic locations is one of those things that must get done. He went on to criticize both the Obama administration and Ryan for politicizing the security of this nation. I think that's sad, he continued. President Trump has come in and has not politicized it. He's said he's going to secure the border, and he's done exactly what he's said he would do. What do you think about this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Fearless. Two birds with one gigantic stone. President Trump vaporizes terrorists and mortifies Obama. This will be a long 4 years, that is without a doubt. What's more, not on account of Donald Trump will come up short. By all signs, the liberals trust the following 4 years will slither by in light of the fact that they completely severely dislike Trump and all his Obama legacy pulverization. For us, It will be to a great degree disappointing 4 years, since we will need to persevere through the consistent whimpering and griping and groaning of the qualification crowd. These individuals are so used to getting their direction that their first real taste of dismissal is playing out like Carrie's prom night. They are whimpering like the youthful people they are. Take away a freebie and they go chimp sh on the grounds that frightfulness of abhorrences, they don't get stuff for anything any longer. What's more, let us not overlook that regardless of what number of individuals fall off unemployment, regardless of how far the obligation is diminished, regardless of what number of expense dollars are brought into the administration coffers in light of the fact that duties have been lessened, regardless of what number of wars we remain out of, regardless of what number of good exchange arrangements and cancellation of enterprise controls convey back organizations to the U.S., and regardless of how safe the boulevards in our inward urban areas move toward becoming or the fringe, regardless of how well our streets and extensions are kept up, and regardless of what number of terrorist plots are turned away, and so forth, and so on. The left will never, 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 ever surrender that the Republicans were in charge of any of it. All things considered, Trump and company are at any rate in charge of this. Alan B. West. In just the past week, the Air Force unleashed hell on Al-Qaeda in Yemen, destroying 40 targets. For some context, in just 1 week Trump's administration eclipsed the annual bombing total for any year during Obama's presidency. According to Foreign Policy magazine, under the previous administration, approval for strikes came only after slow-moving policy discussions, with senior officials required to sign off on any action. The Trump administration has proven much quicker at green-lighting attacks. President Donald Trump's readiness to order military action stands in contrast to the previous administration. When Obama's National Security Advisor Susan Rice ran the policy-making process, stuff moved like molasses through the National Security Council, much to the frustration of military planners at U.S. Central Command. A former senior defense official, who spoke on condition of anonymity, told Foreign Policy. The interagency discussions allowed plans to languish for weeks while debates swirled over when and how to act. The change in policy here? Allowing the military to actually act on the intelligence they've gathered. During Obama's presidency, military pilots who returned from fighting ISIS in Iraq confirmed that 75% of airstrikes were blocked by Obama, as they could not get clearance to launch a strike. We were at war during Obama's entire presidency, we just did not fight it. Only one more case of how Trump and Obama contrasted in their way to deal with the leader of the free world position. Obama trusted that the world everywhere was better at advising the United States how to carry out their occupation, while Trump trusts that the world everywhere is in an ideal situation, quiet down and observing real authority in real life. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comments section below. Share the truth, be patriots. Thank you for reading. Trump steps off plane in Florida for Easter, look what's right behind him. President Donald Trump landed in Palm Beach, Florida on Thursday night to spend Easter weekend at Mar-a-Lago with his family. Daily Mail reported that Melania and Barron flew to Palm Beach separately from Donald Trump in a different government jet, landing minutes after he did. The duo flew in from New York City, as Barron just had his last day of school before his spring vacation. Advertisement. Liberals are furious at Melania for flying separately, as the cost of her trip on the government aircraft is being estimated at $100,000 in tax dollars. Even Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton thinks the Trumps are going a bit overboard in spending taxpayers' money on their travel plans. Taxpayers are on the hook for each trip. We have a right to expect that the president be a steward of these funds, and funds that he has direct control over, because he decides whether to go or not, Fitton said. However, Fitton pointed out that Barack Obama was way worse, as he used Air Force One for touring every golf course in America. He said he also understands why Melania is still in New York. She is staying in New York to be close to her son. Should she be punished, Should the Trump family be punished by not being allowed to travel where the president is going to be on a holiday like Easter? Fidden asked. What do you think about this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Boom, Trump signed surprise order, permanently defunds us. Before he left office, Barack Hussein Obama signed an executive order forcing states to fund abortion by ensuring that abortionists like Planned Parenthood would get a chunk of states' budgets regardless of the state's actual desires or consent. Less than 3 months into his presidency, Donald Trump has done away with this ridiculous order. Louder with Crowder reported that Trump just signed a bill to nix an Obama-era rule that blocked states from defunding healthcare providers for political reasons. Republicans used the Congressional Review Act, CRA, to roll back the last-minute Obama regulation. Republicans say that reversing the rule gives states the power to decide how they want to distribute Title X funding, while Democrats whine it's just another push to hurt Planned Parenthood. Susan B. Anthony List President Marjorie Dannenfelser has said that Obama's HHS effort was a parting gift to the abortion industry. She thanked Trump after he signed the bill for what he did. This week the pro-life movement had 2 huge victories. First, the swearing-in of Justice Gorsuch, and now, President Trump will undo former President Obama's parting gift to the abortion industry, Dannenfelser said in a statement. The resolution signed today simply ensures that states are not forced to fund an abortion business with taxpayer dollars. Rather, states have the option to spend Title X money on comprehensive health care clinics that better serve women and girls. Share this story if you support this. Whoa! Trump just did something amazing for Easter. President Trump is a Christian, and he wants Easter to be special for his family. That's why the first family flew to Florida to spend a holiday at their Mar-a-Lago resort. The president boarded Air Force One in Maryland, and then met his family at the airport in Palm Beach, Florida. His family, First Lady Melania, son Barron, and older son Don Trump Jr., flew on their own plane. Trump's daughter, Ivanka, is celebrating the Jewish holiday Passover with her husband Jared Kushner in Canada this weekend. Advertisement: when Trump landed in Palm Beach, he was met by a cheering crowd. Many were waving the American flag and donning "Make America Great Again" caps.